Hi, I'm Karina. I'm 18 years old, and for as long as I can remember, I've wanted to be a civil engineer. My older sister Madison and I used to be close, or at least I thought we were. She graduated from what she claimed was NYU 4 years ago and landed a job at a prestigious engineering firm downtown. I looked up to her, wanted to follow in her footsteps. Karina, you're still studying? Madison walked into my room one evening in early April, watching me hunched over calculus problems. Yeah, finals are coming up. Plus, I'm waiting to hear back from colleges. Should be any day now. She leaned against my doorframe, arms crossed. You know, college isn't everything. I mean, look at me. I went, got my degree, but the real world is different. That's easy for you to say. You already have your degree from NYU. Right. Of course. She smiled, but something flickered in her eyes. Just don't get your hopes up too high, okay? Rejection is part of life. Thanks for the confidence boost, I muttered, turning back to my textbook. I'm just being realistic, little sister. Someone has to be. After she left, I remember feeling uneasy about that conversation, but I shook it off. Madison had always been competitive, but she was still my sister. 2 weeks later, I was sitting with my best friend Emma at lunch, frantically checking my phone. Still nothing? Emma asked, biting into her sandwich. Nothing. I applied to 6 schools. Early decision to Columbia. I should have heard something by now. Have you checked your email, your mailbox? Every single day. Multiple times. I dropped my phone on the table. What if I didn't get in anywhere? That's impossible. Your GPA is perfect. Your SAT scores are amazing. There's no way. That afternoon, I went to see Miss Harper, my college counselor. Karina, come in. Miss Harper gestured to the chair across from her desk. You look stressed. I haven't heard from any colleges. Is that normal? She frowned, pulling up something on her computer. That is strange. Let me check something. Her fingers flew across the keyboard. According to this, Columbia sent their decision letters 3 weeks ago. Early decision candidates were notified by April 1st. My heart sank, but I never got anything. Did you check your spam folder? Sometimes emails get filtered. I've checked everything, multiple times. Miss Harper's expression grew concerned. What about physical mail? They send official acceptance packets by post, too. I check the mail every day after school. Every day? She leaned forward. Who else has access to your mail? Just my family. My parents both work until 6, so usually Madison or I get the mail when we come home. Madison, that's your older sister, right? The one at the engineering firm? Yeah. Why? Miss Harper hesitated. Karina, I don't want to jump to conclusions, but this is highly unusual. 6 schools, and you haven't heard from any of them? That doesn't happen. Not with your qualifications. Later that evening, I cornered Emma on the phone. Emma, I need you to be honest with me. Has Madison said anything weird to you? Weird how? I don't know. About college? About me? Emma went quiet for a moment. Actually, yeah. Last week at your house, she made this comment about how some people aren't cut out for university life. I thought she was talking about someone from her work, but now that I think about it, she was looking right at your college application folders on the desk. What exactly did she say? She said, it's actually a blessing when people don't get into their dream schools. Saves them from future disappointment. I asked what she meant, and she just smiled and changed the subject. My stomach turned. Emma, I think Madison did something. Like what? I don't know yet, but I'm going to find out. The next morning, I waited until Madison left for work, then went straight to her room. I'd never invaded her privacy before, but something felt wrong. I found it in her desk drawer, a thick envelope from Columbia University addressed to me. Opened. Inside was my acceptance letter, dated March 28th. I'd gotten in. Early decision. Full scholarship. My hands shook as I pulled out my phone and called Emma. She took it. She actually took my acceptance letter. Oh my God, Karina, that's insane. Why would she do that? I don't know, but I'm going to find out. Can you come over? 30 minutes later, Emma was in my room, staring at the envelope. This is so messed up. You need to tell your parents. Not yet. Something else is going on. Why would Madison sabotage me like this? Jealousy? You said she's always been competitive. I kept digging through Madison's things. That's when I found the folder. Documents, printed emails, receipts. My jaw dropped as I read through them. Emma looked over my shoulder. What is that? These are orders for fake diplomas, fake transcripts. Emma, Madison didn't go to NYU. She bought a fake degree. You're kidding. I'm not. Look at this. $3,000 to some company that makes fake university documents. The order date is 4 years ago, right when she supposedly graduated. Emma grabbed one of the papers. This is her diploma. But look at this email. She's been paying this company to maintain a fake student record in case anyone checks. She's been living a lie for 4 years, and now she's working at an engineering firm with fake credentials. That's fraud, Karina. That's illegal. I pulled out my phone and started taking pictures of everything. I need more proof. What are you going to do? I need to talk to someone who knew her in college, or supposedly knew her. I called Jessica, one of Madison's college friends. Hey, Jessica, it's Karina, Madison's sister. Oh, hey, what's up? I have a weird question. Where did you meet Madison? At that party in Brooklyn, remember? About 4 years ago. Right. But didn't you guys go to NYU together? Jessica laughed. NYU? No, Madison never went to NYU. She told me she took a gap year after high school and then started working. We met at a mutual friends party. She never mentioned going to college? Not to me. Why? I hung up and looked at Emma. She never went to college at all. She's been lying to everyone. Our parents, her employer, everyone. Emma paced my room. Okay, but why hide your acceptance letter? What does that have to do with her lie? I thought for a moment. Because if I go to Columbia and actually succeed, people will start comparing us. They'll ask questions about her degree, where she went, what she studied. Someone might look closer. So she sabotaged your future to protect her lie? Exactly. My phone rang. It was my mom. Karina, Madison just called me, very upset. She says you went through her room. Mom, I need to show you something. Can you and Dad come home? We're at work, honey. Whatever it is. Mom, it's about Madison's college degree. And mine. Please. This is important. An hour later, my parents sat at the kitchen table while I showed them everything. The stolen acceptance letter, the fake degree documents, the emails. Dad's face went red. This can't be real. Call NYU, Dad. Ask them if Madison ever attended. Mom was crying. Why would she do this? Because she's a fraud, I said. And she knew if I succeeded, her whole life would fall apart. My dad made the call to NYU's registrar right there. The answer came back clear. No Madison Torres had ever been enrolled. Mom looked at me. What do you want to do, Karina? I want justice. She stole my future. I'm taking back what's mine. I waited for Madison in the living room that evening. My parents sat with me, stone-faced. Emma had offered to come, but I told her this was family business. Madison walked in at 6:30, smiling. Hey, everyone, what's going on? Family meeting? I held up the Columbia envelope. Looking for this? Her smile vanished. Where did you get that? From your desk drawer, where you hid it, along with some other interesting documents. I don't know what you're talking about. Dad stood up. Cut it, Madison. We called NYU. You never went there. Her face went pale. That's ridiculous. Of course I went there. I have my diploma upstairs. The fake one you bought online? I pulled out my phone, showing her the photos. These documents? The emails to fakediplomas.com? The receipts? Madison's hands clenched. You had no right to go through my things. You had no right to steal my future, I shouted back. I got into Columbia, full scholarship, and you hid it from me because you were scared your lies would catch up with you. That's not... I was trying to protect you. Mom's voice was ice cold. Protect her from what, Madison? From disappointment, from the pressure. I knew she'd get in, and then she'd go, and she'd be miserable like I would have been. You never went to college, I screamed. You don't know anything about it. You've been lying to everyone for 4 years. I had to. Do you know how hard it is to get a job without a degree? I did what I had to do to survive. Dad stepped forward. You committed fraud, Madison. You're working at an engineering firm with fake credentials. People trust you with projects, with their safety. I'm good at my job. Nobody's gotten hurt. That's not the point. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. You're a fraud, and you tried to make me one too by stealing my chance at a real education. Madison's eyes filled with tears. Karina, please. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I was jealous and scared, and I did something stupid. But we can fix this. You can still go to Columbia. Just don't tell anyone about my degree. Are you seriously asking me to cover for you? I'm your sister. Please. If this gets out, I'll lose everything. My job, my apartment, everything. You should have thought about that before you stole my acceptance letter. Karina, I'm begging you. I'll do anything. Please don't destroy my life. Emma burst through the front door. I'd texted her to come after all. Don't you dare fall for this, Karina. She's manipulating you. Madison whirled on her. This is a family matter, Emma. Stay out of it. She's more family to me than you are, I shot back. Madison turned back to me, her tears gone, replaced by cold anger. You do this, and I'll make sure you regret it. I'll tell everyone you're a liar, that you forged these documents to frame me. Dad stepped between us. Madison, that's enough. No, she's trying to ruin my life. You ruined your own life, I shouted, and you tried to ruin mine. Madison lunged at me, grabbing my phone. Give me those photos. Dad pulled her back as she shoved him hard. He stumbled, hitting his shoulder against the wall. Did you just assault Dad? I couldn't believe it. Madison froze, realizing what she'd done. I didn't. He got in the way. Get out, Mom said quietly. Get out of this house right now. The next morning, I sat in a conference room at Madison's engineering firm with their HR director, Mr. Chen, and the company's legal counsel. Ms. Torres, can you walk us through what you've brought to our attention? Mr. Chen asked. I laid out the documents. My sister has been working here for 3 years with a fake degree from NYU. She never attended that university. I have proof of her purchasing fraudulent credentials and emails showing she's maintained this deception deliberately. The legal counsel examined the papers. These are quite damning. We'll need to verify this independently, of course. I've already contacted NYU. They're sending a formal letter confirming Madison Torres never attended their institution. Mr. Chen's face was grave. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. I want you to know our structural projects have all been reviewed by licensed engineers, so public safety hasn't been compromised. But this is still a serious matter of fraud. I understand she'll lose her job, but I also think she needs to face legal consequences. She assaulted my father last night when he tried to stop her from destroying evidence. The legal counsel nodded. We'll be filing a report with the authorities. Given that she used fraudulent credentials to obtain employment, this is criminal fraud. Later that day, I met with Miss Harper to discuss my Columbia acceptance. The admissions office was horrified when I explained what happened, she said. They're extending your acceptance and giving you until next week to confirm. They've also reported the mail theft to the postal inspector. Thank you, Miss Harper, for everything. You stood up for yourself, Karina. That takes courage. That evening, Emma and I sat on my porch while 2 police officers took statements from my parents inside. How are you feeling? Emma asked. Honestly, relieved, angry, sad, all of it. Your sister tried to call me earlier. She wanted me to convince you to drop everything. What did you tell her? I told her she made her choices, and now she has to live with them. A week later, Madison showed up at the house. Mom had made it clear she wasn't welcome, but she stood on the porch anyway. Karina, please, can we talk? I stepped outside, keeping the door between us. There's nothing to talk about. I know I messed up. I know I hurt you. But I'm your sister. We can get past this. No, we can't. You didn't just mess up, Madison. You deliberately sabotaged my future to protect your lies. You stole from me. You committed fraud. You assaulted Dad. It was a mistake. I wasn't thinking clearly. It wasn't a mistake. It was a choice. Multiple choices over and over again. So that's it? You're just going to cut me out of your life? You cut yourself out when you put yourself before my future. I'm going to Columbia. I'm going to actually earn my degree. And I'm going to build a life based on truth, not lies. Karina, please. Goodbye, Madison. I closed the door and locked it. 3 months later, I moved into my dorm at Columbia. Emma helped me unpack, hanging posters and organizing my textbooks. How does it feel? She asked. Like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. My phone buzzed. It was an article Emma had sent me. Local woman sentenced to probation for credential fraud and assault. You did the right thing, Emma said. I know. It still hurts, though. That's because you're human, but you didn't let her steal your future. Dad called that evening. Hey, sweetheart, how's the dorm? It's perfect, Dad. Really? Good. Your mom and I are proud of you, for everything. Thanks, Dad. How are you guys holding up? We're managing. It's hard, but we know you did what you had to do. As I hung up and looked out my dorm window at the campus below, I felt something I hadn't felt in months. Hope. Have you ever had someone you trusted betray you? How did you handle it? Let us know in the comments below.